Are you actually kind or just nice? One comes from the heart, and the other comes from, well, desperately trying not to make things awkward or uncomfortable in conversations in different situations. Let's find out which one you are. Okay? So let's get started. Hi, my name is Bonnie. Welcome back to my channel, Healthy Done My Way. Today, we're going to discuss the difference between kindness and niceness, starting with kindness. Kindness is rooted in genuine care and empathy for others. It expresses sincere, honest concern for others, their overall well being, which in turn leads to authentic actions that encourage emotional connection, and it has this deeper and lasting impact as it is rooted in compassion and intentionality. It's real. It is actually real. Okay. While niceness, okay, is often about being polite or pleasing others. Sometimes being nice is for social approval or just maintaining harmony or avoiding conflict, like I used to do. And it also may lack the same depth or authenticity that kindness possesses, which is needed for relationships. Niceness is more about a demeanor. It tends to be kind of like superficial, and you're really not being yourself, which can cause issues in different areas of your life. So let's look at the core differences, okay? So kindness kindness comes from compassion, like I mentioned before, and a desire to help. While niceness is often it comes from wanting to be liked or to avoid conflict. Yeah, been there. Kindness is authentic. It may require courage, and it does. And it involves real care for others, while niceness can be surface level, you know, and may not require any emotional investment, which is not good. But you know what? Kindness can also be include setting honest boundaries, even if it's uncomfortable. Man, and they are. Because true care sometimes means being direct or just constructive. And the impact of kindness, it fosters deeper, more meaningful relationship. It really does. It is, and niceness, on the other hand, primarily keeps things polite and easy and avoiding friction. And man, it's the surface level relationship whereby no one wins. No one. Okay, okay. Let me give you some examples. Let's start with niceness. Niceness is like smiling and being polite, even if one feels differently inside, avoiding conflicts, keeping the peace. A nice person might avoid that uncomfortable conversation to keep things, yeah, pleasant. That's me. That was me. Sorry, that was me. But kindness is like gently giving honest feedback to help a friend grow, even if it's awkward, and it will be sometimes, or uncomfortable. A kind person might tell a friend that, you know what, you might need to change that habit that looks or is harmful, totally out of care for their well-being, even again if it is uncomfortable, because that's true care. That's true care. But there's health impacts for both kindness and niceness. So you see, engaging in acts of kindness releases this, I think I'm saying this right, oxytocin. That's the love hormone of the brain, in the brain, reducing anxiety, lowering stress response, and increasing increasing feelings of connection, bonding, and meaning and when interacting with others. Kindness is linked to, man, to improve emotional health. That is so true. Better relationship. Again, I am a witness to that. Man, this is good. And stronger resilience over time. It is. It's just a beautiful thing when you practice kindness and it's coming from your heart, true care, warmth, and just gentleness. It's just amazing. That's the health benefits you would get from being kind. But niceness, consistently suppressing feelings to be nice, the health impact here is this: it can lead to stress, resentment, bitterness, and emotional fatigue. Man, it also with excessive people pleasing just because you want to be nice can chip away, can erode your self esteem and increase anxiety. I don't even want to remember those days. And two, the authenticity that should be in a relationship suffers without true kindness because you're not being yourself. You can't bond, you're not connecting, you're not being upfront with the individual. So they in turn can be upfront with you. There are so many issues and not so much issues. There are so many issues with being nice, but not with kindness. So because studies suggest that those who are regularly on the regular practice kindness, I mean really practice kindness rather than mere niceness, experience, oh my, experience better mental health, emotional health. Oh my goodness, deeper social connections, social support, and greater satisfaction in life. I kid you not. Since I have been practicing kindness instead of niceness, my life has just, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, there are some issues, but even in the midst of that, I am enjoying it. Oh, I can't explain it, but it is. So you see, practicing kindness it actually results in sincere, honest relationships. Oh my goodness. Emotional fulfillment, stress release, and genuine, real connection. Oh, it feels good just talking about it because I've been practicing. And while practicing being nice just to get what? Approval can undermine your overall well-being and foster this superficial interaction which leaves you drained. Man, that's not healthy. No, it's not. Which one would you pick? I mean, come on, which one would you want to practice? Bottom line, the bottom line is this: for a more meaningful life and healthier mind and body, cultivating real kindness is far more beneficial than striving only to be nice. Which one are you going to pick? Kindness, good health. Niceness, well, not so good health. I know, I'm being dramatic. Oh, let me share my story, okay, right quick. So, me being kind, that is. Okay, you let me know if it's kind or being nice, but I believe it's being kind. What did I do with my notes? Okay, got my notes here. Okay, picture this. Okay, I want you to picture this. Remember back in the day, like way back in the day, when they had this commercial and part of it goes like this: give it to Mikey, he'll eat it. Well, there's this present, it used to be this present day thing that it goes like this: ask Bonnie, she'll do it. And why Vonnie did everything, tried to do everything for everybody? Because she wanted to be nice. And that's what nice people do. Until I learned the difference between nice and kind. And once I learned that, and I learned it by mistake, I stumbled onto it. I didn't know I was doing it. But anyway, I decided, okay, I am going to start practicing being kind. Okay. And I decided, and when I say kind, I've always practiced one portion, one side of kindness, and that is helping others, caring for others, providing for others, serving for others. That's one side of kindness. I've always practiced that side, but I rarely practice the side where it could be uncomfortable and awkward in expressing your way in a kind, caring, warm, gentle way, if that makes, but in a firm manner, if that makes any kind of sense. And I can do a video between the different components of kindness. But anyway, so I decided that I was going to to start practicing that, but I found out that I had to work on my inner environment, and that is work on who I was, setting standards, setting boundaries within. So in order for me to express myself externally, I had to be to a certain degree prepared internally, and I'm still working on that, and it's going well, by the way. So anyway, so I did that part. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm ready to start working, start expressing myself in a kind way externally. So I decided to put together a plan, and that plan consisted of creating a script. Well, not so much a script, but just things that I need to do when addressing certain situations that I want to address. And so I decided, okay, work on the tone. How are you going to deliver this information, your feelings? Okay, so I say work on the tone, work on the manner in which I say it, work on the attitude. And then I got that settled. And then I went on to, okay, so, what are you going to do for the closing after you have expressed yourself to the individual? How are you going to close, bring that piece of the conversation to a close? And I thought, okay, maybe I can just bring down the temperature by just pivoting. And that is asking a question that would, again, bring down the temperature. And you'll hear how that went after I tell you what happened. So basically, I said, okay. So the following week, I said I would do it. And I was ready because I prepared. That's key. Prepare for it. I was mentally prepared. I was physically prepared in terms of how I was going to do it. So basically, what I did was this individual that normally come in and talk with me, come in and have conversations with me, um, I would just agree and not disagree, just to be nice, not make that individual feel uncomfortable or some kind of way. So I said, okay, I'm ready. But she was a nice person. It's just that I just didn't. Anyway, so she came in. She was laughing and talking. She was telling me about her travels, and in the conversation, she stated she called me something other than my name, which was out of character, and that has never happened before. And because I planned what I would say and how I would present it, I said, I looked her straight in the eye, tilted my head to the side, and I said, and I called her by name. Let's just say Jane. Jane. And I stopped. What did you call me? And I stopped, looking her straight in the eye, and she says, "Oh, Vonnie, you know that's what some women do when in a conversation with each other." I said, "Well, not when anyone is in a conversation with me." And I said this: "I would appreciate it if you would not And I stopped at not for just a split second, tilt my head, refer to me in any other name except my name. Okay? And and I stopped there. And she said, Bonnie, I am so sorry. Please, please accept my apology. And I looked at her, still looking at her straight in the eye. Jan, I accept your apology. Okay? And I stopped again at okay. And then to change, to pivot, to bring the temperature down, I said, okay, so tell me about the travel. Tell me about what happened. Tell me more about that. And that brought the temperature down. Yes, it was uncomfortable. Yes, it was awkward. Yes, I was feeling just a tad bit anxious. But here's the thing. I didn't feel like I would normally feel if I was being nice. I didn't feel bitter. I didn't feel any resentment. I didn't feel like I need to get away from this person. I didn't feel drained. I didn't feel disappointed in myself. None of those things I felt. But here's the thing. I was kind, and I was kind because how I spoke to the individual. I spoke to the individual in a tone that was calm, that was gentle, but yet firm and bold. You see the combination? That was kind. And another reason, let me look at my notes to make sure I'm not missing anything. And another thing about that is it allowed that individual, which is to me is kind, that allowed that individual to see more of me and to see who I am. And moving forward, we were able to connect professionally, just connect professionally and have open conversation because I were kind in the way I said it. And I think that's it. My point is this, that niceness it has its place somewhere. It does, but I 95% of the time I am operating out of kindness. And because it is for that individual, it's not just for you, it's for the individual as well, because it creates connection, it creates relationships, it creates authenticity within a realness, within a relationship that can grow deeper. Whether it is a professional relationship, whether it's just a simple common, what it is, a platonic relationship, whatever type of relationship it is, being kind by being open and have the courage enough to express yourself in a kind, gentle, calm. Did I say calm? Calm, gentle, and caring way. So please know the difference between kindness and niceness. Pay attention as you go throughout your week. Pay attention if you are being nice and kind, and if that is benefiting the individual and also benefiting you. Because I tell you what, if you practice out of kindness, you'll see some health changes. The way you think, the way you're feeling, that will change. Your energy will increase because you're being kind, and you have this thing whereby I did that not to be mean, but to be kind to that individual by the way I talk, my attitude in speaking and expressing certain things in certain situations. So that's all I have for you. My brother would say that. Okay, so you know what we say, let's just do health our ways. Let's do kindness our way, okay? My way is different from your way. Let's just do it so that we can be healthy. And we can be healthy in the way that only we can be healthy. So, enough said. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk with you at another time. Bye.